Hey, good morning, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. It is Thursday, January 6th, 2022. So glad you could be here with me this morning. Here at Forex Smart Trade, our mission is to help you become the best version of yourself. And we do that by teaching you how to currency trade with our proprietary trading tools. And we supplement that with personalized one-on-one training, which we consider to be the best in the business. And not only is it the best in the business, currency trading is a topic that we think that the most efficient and effective way to learn is to get taught by someone who knows what you're doing. There's lots and lots of information out there, and it's hard to sort through what's good and what's bad. And here we are so confident in how good our tools are and our instruction. We provide a guarantee, and that guarantee is that once you have been trained, we will let you trade with company funds. With that, we start by, we need to listen to this guy, so let's go ahead and do that.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
Another great thing about our program, in addition to the personalized one-on-one training, the instructional video recordings, webinars, we do these live trades. When you are a light person, a person who is doing our 30-day trial, you have access to what's in the yellow, there are 5 sessions where we do live trades, 3 of them done by me. Tonight there is another session at 10 p.m. Eastern time. However, when you are a real member, we do a session in the morning, a session in the evening, and a session on Sunday. These live trades are done by experienced traders where they will they will walk you through the trade that they are doing. We've got a dozen different signals, and each trader has a signal that they prefer and use. So it's a teaching moment, plus you get to copy the trade. All of these traders know what they're doing. So it's a little bit of a dividend. It gives you a safety net while you are learning. By just copying the trades, you will be ahead of the game. Okay, so let's keep going. I trade off of a trade, a trade schedule. First thing is I always check and make sure everything is connected. The green charts in the MetaTrader 4, which I did before we came on. A good habit at the end of each day or the beginning of the next day is to review what you did the previous day. We are looking to keep getting better, and as you trade more, you just keep picking up things. You pick up little nuances as you study the trading, besides what we tell you. So it is good to do that every day, and then just add that into your kind of mental notebook that, all right, when I see this, this, and this, it doesn't work. On Monday, if we take a look on Monday, we didn't find a trade. On Tuesday, we found a 10-point trade, which is the trade I'm going to be using today for 7 pips on the AUD CAD, and it closed. So let us go ahead and start our review. As we are technical traders, we want to know our indicators capture price action and the movement, and are good at predicting where the turns are and giving us an idea of how long the move or how big the move is going to be. So one of the other things that impacts currency is news. So we like to go to Forex Factory, which allows us to see what the upcoming news items are. Forex Factory breaks it down into 3 items: low impact, which is yellow; medium impact, which is orange; and high impact, which is red. And you can see there's a high impact on the USD today at 10 a.m. Although they're marking this medium impact, unemployment has been causing a little bit of some bouncing around. So we need to keep that. Ideally, when there's a news item, I like to be out of it 2 hours beforehand, so that there's no chance that I'm caught in it when the news is happening. I can't predict how this is going to impact, nor do I want to predict. So if we're taking a USD trade, we need to think about how quickly it will move before it will close. And then other than that, we've got kind of clear sailing all the way, well, till tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, there's a lot of news. So let's get going. Here are our charts. This chart is one of the standard charts. It is the light 6 major. I call it the composite chart. It is showing us 6 different currency pairs. This first chart is all US based pairs on a 1-hour candle. I typically trade on a 1-hour candle. 1 hour is good for between 5 and 30 pips usually. And if you see, most of my trades are around 10, maybe up to 20 pips, depending on what's available. If I can get 3 10-pip trades, I am doing terrific, and I am done for the day. The first trade starts off with that trade I send out in the evening at around 6 p.m. Eastern, and that one closed during the night. So let us go and take a look. So on the 10-point trade, and this is again one of a dozen different signals we have, I start with this middle chart, and all the information I need is on this chart, or 90% of the information I need is on this chart. Depending on what the trade is, I may sometimes supplement it with the echo. But if you're new and light, we don't show you this, but that's the only other chart that I may use to decide what I'm doing. I start with this middle chart, and which we call the majors and the minors, and I am looking for situations. The red and green lines are the major indicator, the black and gray are the minor indicator. This horizontal red line is the oversold line. So when these lines are down below the red line, that means the market's oversold, so that's a good time to buy. Likewise, when the lines are above the blue line, which is the overbought line, that is a good time to sell. So I am looking for situations where these lines are either above the blue line, and if they're above the blue line, I want them pointing down, or if they're below the red line, I want them pointing up. So let's just see what we find. Right now, we're kind of in the middle of the channel. They never made it. The majors never really made it to overbought. So I'm going to pass. Euro USD. Miners got to overbought and are coming down, but the majors are sideways in the middle of the channel. Ideally, the goal on this trade is to get minimum of 7 of the 10 lines pointing in the direction of the trade. If I can get those 7 of 10 lines pointing in the direction of the trade, that is a high probability trade that will win. So I am just trying to see if I can find that setup and then figure out what it's worth. So step 1 is just seeing the setup. So I don't have the setup here. Really, the majors are going up, minors are going down, so I don't have agreement. Pound dollar, we are overbought, and the majors are still going up. Minors started to come down, so again, disagreement, and I don't have congruency amongst all the lines. USD Canadian dollar, oversold. Minors are going up, majors haven't committed yet. I am looking for the lines to go up, and not only for the lines to go up, I want the green line to cross over to be on top of the red line. As like here, we see the gray line is on top of the black line, so that this is crossed over. It's not only going up, but it's crossed over. So that's what I'm looking for. USD Swiss franc, oversold, and it's just reaching the oversold area. Minors have started to turn, majors are still going down. USD yen, we're in the middle of the channel, and there's conflict between the majors and the minors. The majors have started to turn, the minors are still going up, so I don't have agreement. So I'm just looking if I can get agreement, and you can see I can go through these reasonably quickly to see if I see the setup here or not. The setup's there. I'm going to keep continuing my analysis. If it's not, I'm going to go to the next chart. I have cloned this chart. I've cloned this chart and made a second one. And here I've got non-US pairs. So let's see what else we have. Euro pound, we're in the middle of the channel going down. Australian dollar yen, we're in the middle of the channel going up, but it's starting to turn. It hasn't made the overbought section yet. Euro Canadian dollar, again, minors got oversold, majors didn't, but they're starting to turn. But again, I don't have the major lines. The green and red lines here aren't pointing up, they're going sideways. So very easy. They're either going up, up, down, or sideways. And I want them, if we're down here, I want them going up. AUD, NZD, we are oversold and going sideways. I do have the gray line has crossed over on top, and the green is just about crossing over. But this, to me, this is more sideways than up. I really want it to be up, so I'm going to pass. Pound yen, overbought, and the majors are still going up. The minors have started to turn, so I don't have agreement there. Euro AUD, we are just about reaching the oversold spot, but we haven't quite reached it. Minors are still going down, but majors are starting to roll. They're starting to turn before they get to overbought. So again, nothing. So I am going to just keep going. I've got more of these charts. Here is another pair, again, with just different currency pairs. Canadian dollar, yen, we are reaching the overbought and starting to turn. I don't really consider this down. This is sideways on the majors. Minors are starting to go down, but again, really more sideways. Euro New Zealand dollar, minors got oversold, majors haven't yet. Majors are going sideways, hitting on the oversold line. Pound New Zealand dollar, oversold. Everybody's pointing up. And I've got the double cross. The red line is crossed over the green, and the gray line is crossed over the black. So I've got 3 points here. One, we're oversold. 2, everybody's pointing up, and 3, I've got the double cross. I also like this because of the steepness of the green line. This green line is more like you can kind of consider the line in terms of 3 spots. A 45-degree angle. Is it more than a 45 or less than a 45? This is more than a 45. It's probably closer to a 60 or 65 degree angle. So I like this. When I have 3 points here, I am going to go up to my TNTs. Each of the sections measures something different or capture different information. And I want to count how many lines are going in the direction that I want. The orange lines are directional. So I've got the thick orange going up, that means buy. But the thin orange is going down, which means sell. The blue lines are inversely related. So when blue goes down, that means buy. So the thick blue is telling me buy, but the thin blue is telling me sell. It's going up and telling me sell. So I only have 2 of the 4 indicators here telling me that it's a buy. I want a minimum of 3 out of 4. If I don't have 3 out of 4, then the goal is if I can get all of these to line up, that's a high probability trade. I only want to take high probability trades, and I don't need that many of them to make money. So even though this is a nice signal, I don't have it here. If I did have 3 out of 4, I would go down here and see what the pressure is doing. So I want the lines either going up, which indicates a buy, or the green line on top. I've got a very mild up pressure here. Very, very mild. This is probably as weak a buy as you can get. What makes it weak is that the lines are very separated. Now we've got this big gap, and there's just not much steepness here. Now the green line is going up, which I like, but this is weak up pressure. So since I only have 2 out of the 4 here, I'm passing. But this is a nice signal. I like this. Everything's clustered together, and we've got good steepness in the lines. New Zealand dollar yen. We're just approaching overbought, and it's starting going sideways. Gold dollar. It started to enter the channel and then lost steam and went sideways. Bitcoin dollar started coming down, then started going sideways. So nothing here. Let us, we've got one more group of charts. Let's see what we can find here. Australian dollar, Canadian. We're oversold. Everybody's going up. We've got nice steepness here. Our majors are a little less than halfway. So I will consider a trade where it hasn't quite reached the halfway mark. Because what I'm looking for is I want to get the run all the way through the channel. So I've got 3 points here. 1, we're oversold. 2, everybody's going up. And 3, the green line has crossed over the red, and the gray line has crossed over the black. The minor line, as you can see, is increased in steepness. From here, it's steep, and then it got more steep. So I like that too. When I jump up to the TNTs, the 2 orange lines are going up, which means buy. The dotted blue is coming down. So I've got 3 of the 4 lines here telling me buy. That's what I want. I want a minimum of 3 out of 4. And I've got down pressure, but the green line is on top, and the lines are separating. They're diverging. So I like that. Green line on top gives me a point. So I've got 7 points here. 3 points on the majors and minors, 3 points on the TNT, and 1 point from the pressure. When I get 7 points on this trade, unlike some of the more simple trades where you know exactly what they're worth, on this one it requires us to do a little bit more analysis to figure out what it's worth. So if I go back to my daily trade routine, I want to know where the support and resistance are and what the trend is. That's going to help me decide. So AUD, CAD, we're looking at a buy. So I am going to look at a more detailed chart that shows me multiple time periods for one pair. So here is the chart for the Euro USD. So I am going to convert it to a chart for the AUD. Oops. AUD USD or AUD CAD. And here I've got a 2-minute chart, a 30-minute chart, a 1-hour chart, a 2-hour chart, and a 4-hour chart. What I want to see is so here was the signal we were looking at. Actually, it's bounced up. Let me just double check one more thing here. All right, it has. It's actually starting to hit the halfway mark. What I want to see is agreement that we're oversold on the 2-hour chart and the 4-hour chart. Because if I have agreement that we're oversold on the 2-hour chart and the 4-hour chart, if for some reason there's a change in the signal, eventually we're going to go up. And I'm going to get that confirmation by looking at the 2-hour chart. So in the 2-hour chart, we're oversold, and we've got all the lines pointing up, which gives me good confidence. Even if the lines weren't pointing up, I would be okay. I just want to see that they're oversold. But I'm even happier. I like it a little bit more that we've got the lines pointing up. We've got down pressure, but the green is just about to cross over, so I like that also. And then on the 4-hour chart, again, we are oversold, and the minors are going up. The majors aren't yet, but again, we're oversold. That's what I'm interested in. I'm not going to pay as much attention to the pressure on the 4-hour. I just want to know that on the majors and minors, we're oversold here. We're oversold here. Looking at the day chart, I don't really consider the day chart, but we are oversold here. So again, at some point we're going to be going up. This is still telling us down. All right, so I've got the 2 and the 4-hour telling me, all right, it's a good time to enter. So now I want to take a look at where the support and resistance are. So here's Euro USD, where I see my support and resistance. Support and resistance are basically spots where the candles seem to naturally stop. So you can see it in here. You can kind of see it in here, in here, in here. The market tends to respect these spots. So the candle will come down to it and bounce. I want to know where those spots are. So I am going to create a new candle. I don't normally trade the AUD CAD. So I'm just going to pull up a clean chart. And I don't think we saved this. It's interesting. Delete. All right. I want to see, I'm going to scrunch it up because I want to see, I guess this is what we traded the other day. That's why it's still here. I want to put in a resistance line below where we're at, one more below. So I'm going to get more data up here so I can see where the lines are. I'm going to drop a new line in, new horizontal line in, and move it to the next support and resistance spot. There's clearly one here. We're stopping in here, over here, over here, over here, 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 here. That's quite a distance. Let me just try one more and see if there's another one in between. On the euro dollar, they're about 30 pips apart. We've got a little bit of a one here. Over here, 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 here. All right, so now I'm going to open it back up. Whoops, what happened here? And come on. Just trying to get this so we can see it a little better. Pull this a little bit down, and we don't need to see as much history. I don't know why it keeps doing that. So the other thing I want to know is what's the trend? So clearly up until the beginning of the year, there was an uptrend. Since the beginning of the year, down, stopped, down, kind of stopped, started to pull back up and down. So today it's a downtrend, but it's not a long-term downtrend. And this looks like it might be news related. AUD, CAD. Huh. I guess you could argue for right now we are trading in a downtrend. When we're trading in a downtrend, I am going to take less pips than if we are trading in an uptrend, and we are looking at a buy here. And then the other thing I want to know is how much room do I have? I've got 17 pips till I hit this line. You can see that up here, up above, 17 pips, and we are sitting on the line, on the resistance line. It has broken through that resistance line, and when I say it's broken through, this current candle has closed above the resistance line. So it came down, it hit, and then the next candle has, well, I guess it hasn't closed above it, but right now this candle is above it. Well, I guess you could say it did close above it right there. It is a little bit above there. So, let's go back and take a look. So now I've got the information I need. I had the signal on the 1 hour. I confirmed it with the 2 hour and the 4 hour. I see what the trend is, and then the question is, and then I know I've got 17 pips till I get up here. So let me just take a look at one more thing before we decide what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and take a 10 pip buy on the AUD CAD. We've got the setup here. We're going to take, we're not going to take the full 17 pips. We will just take 10 pips. So now we are going to open up our MetaTrader 4. I am going to go to the AUD CAD. We opened it the other day. If you don't have it open, you're going to go to File, New Chart, and then you're going to go down to this third thing and find it in here. I'm going to go to the second row and click New Order. I'm going to take a look at what my account balance is. It's 11,800. This is a demo account. I'm going to move my decimal spot over 4 spots. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can take a lot size of 1.18. So I'm going to take, excuse me, 1.18. So I'm going to round that up to 1.2. I'm not going to worry about the stop loss or the take profit right now. And I'm going to do a market execution, market buy. Once it records it here, I am going to then right click, go to modify or delete, and I am going to add in my take profit and stop loss. It will do the math for me. So 10 pips is 100 points. If I put 100 points in here and click the little blue button, it does the math for me. And we're going to use a 4-to-1 stop loss. So if I'm going for 10 pips, I'm going to put a stop loss of 40 pips on there. Click the red button, click modify, and it drops the support and resistance on there. And let's, I like to make sure I see it. Theoretically, if you wanted to use a lower stop loss, you wanted to use 30 pips, you could, because it hasn't traded down there in a long, long time. So what we've got is we did a buy on the AUD CAD, buy on the AUD CAD, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, with a take profit of 0.91695, 0.91695, and a stop loss of 0.91188, 0.91188. And this will probably take about 3 hours to close, 3 to 4 hours to close. Let's see if we got any questions. Yes, John. John is commenting that usually on the stream, I haven't noticed it. I haven't noticed it as much when I'm just trading without broadcasting. But when I broadcast, it uses up a lot of CPU power, and sometimes the screen's white out. And in fact, on Thursday, it did that just before I came online. And then as you said, when your charts, actually it didn't white out. It wasn't updating. The clock wasn't working. And I switched over to the secondary feed. To switch over to the secondary feed, you just click over here, and there's a primary feed and a secondary feed. So sometimes there's a backup in the system. So if something happens to the feed that we're getting from Trade Key, we got a backup source to provide the data. And I did that very same thing that you said. I switched over to the secondary feed, and then all the clocks were working. And on Tuesday, we didn't have a problem. We didn't have a problem today. They were just about ready to their argument was it's my processor isn't powerful enough to get me another computer to do the webcasts. that they know that it's powerful enough. And I said, well, eventually I'd have to buy the computer. But I said, look, if you want to give me one to try, we'll test it out. If it works, then I'll buy it. But I'm not convinced that the processor's the problem. But I've noticed I haven't had any issues. But again, the only time I have issues is when I broadcast. I generally don't have issues when I'm just trading, that's the only screen I've got up. Although, as I said the other day, the clock wasn't working, so I switched over to the secondary feed. So I saw that. Okay. Yeah, I'm all right. Excellent. And John, one of these days, I am going to call you to get your workarounds. Interestingly, I did forward your message saying, "Hey, look, I got students telling me that they've got workarounds for this. They shouldn't be telling me. We should be telling them." And he says, "Well, what are they? I'd like to know." So I'm supposed to follow up with you, but it probably won't happen this week because today's a short day for me. I'm traveling tomorrow and we'll be gone for the weekend. So probably won't get a chance to do it till next week. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for. Can you go over how you come up with the daily night trade you put out every night? It is. I'm using kind of a modified version of the 10-point trade, and I'm taking a look at what the day chart is doing. It's a little bit hard to explain. It's like one of those things I've been looking at the chart so long that I look at the day chart and then I look at what the other charts are doing, and I can kind of tell what the next little move is going to be. That's a little less straightforward than just showing the straight 10-point trade on the 1-hour chart, because there's a few more nuances in it. But you can see, if you've been following it, I am pretty accurate on that overnight trade. So for now, just copy it. And as you get trained, you'll start to add things like that into your repertoire. Okay, gangs, thanks so much. We will see you on Monday evening. Bye-bye.